Welcome to Delhi and welcome to the launch event of the Kia Syros. This is an all-new compact SUV, sub 4-meter SUV from Kia in India, and it's going to compete with the rest of that very competitive segment. The promise is a subcompact SUV with the space of a mid-size SUV. Let's get into things and see what it has. Let's start by talking about the face because it is very radical. We've not seen something like this from Kia in India before. There are elements from the more expensive EV9, but this is a completely new face. You've got almost a solid grille, but you do have vents in here for cooling. This is not an EV. It is an internal combustion engine car after all. You've got these vertically stacked headlamps, chunky bumpers with a skid plate, and you've got the Kia logo, the flat logo over there in the front. Now let's talk about it from this side. Some things to note: 17-inch wheels. You've got flush door handles. You've also got this very interesting treatment on the B pillar. But what's more interesting is the dimensions. In terms of its wheelbase, it's 50 mm longer than a Sonet. You can see the wheels are pushed to the absolute corners of the car, and it's quite tall as well. It's about 40 mm taller than a Sonet. So this is a large car, even though the footprint of the car is really small. Over at the rear, you've got really interesting design elements. You've got a lot of vertically stacked lighting elements. You've got lighting over here and you've got lighting at the bottom as well. The back is really slab-sided and it does look pinched from some angles, but overall it does sit under that critical 4-meter barrier. The Kia Syros will be offered with two engine options: a 1-liter turbo petrol engine making 118 bhp and 172 Nm of torque. This will come with the option of a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed DCT. There will also be a 1.5-liter diesel making 114 bhp and 250 Nm of torque. This too will get the option of a manual and a torque converter automatic. Get into the front seat and things are very interesting. You've got twin screens up front, not something you see in the compact SUV segment. They're calling this a 30-inch unit, and it is, but it is 3 separate screens with a small separate screen in the middle for your AC controls. This is a new steering wheel for Kias with your drive modes and traction mode buttons right on the steering wheel. No more fiddly knobs anymore. It's a nice looking unit with a small Kia logo on the front. Over here, you've got your AC controls, physical buttons. You've got physical buttons for your infotainment screen as well. Full thumbs up for that. You've got a wireless phone charger over here, USB Type-C ports, and a new gear selector as well. Deep cup holders, storage spaces in here. You can fit 2 bottles in the door. So actually storage, despite this being a small car, is very well thought of. You even got a little cubby hole over here where you can probably store some knickknacks or coins. Very well thought of. In terms of features, you've got Harman Kardon audio, ventilated front seats, a panoramic sunroof, and you've got ADAS level 2 built into this car. When you get into the back seat, you realize how much space you have in here. The longer wheelbase does mean good knee room over here, and because it's so tall, you have really good headroom as well, despite having a panoramic sunroof. The back seat is actually very nice. The seats are well sculpted, you sink into them nicely, but more interestingly, you have them on rails, so you can slide them forward and backward in case you need to make more space for luggage in the back or prioritize knee room. More interesting things at the back: ventilated seats. This is not common, especially in this segment, but it's a cool feature to have. You also have sun blinds at the back to keep the light and the prying eyes out. You've got USB Type-C ports, you've got AC vents, and you've got an air purifier in the back. But again, sitting in here, the biggest impression is the sense of space. Width, not so much, but knee room and headroom, certainly. We don't know much about pricing just yet, but you can expect the Syros to be a little more expensive than the Sonet, particularly at the entry level, since it doesn't get the most affordable engine, which is the 1.2-liter naturally aspirated one. Instead, you only get the turbo and the diesel, and these will obviously have a higher starting price, and anyway, the Syros should be a little more expensive than the Sonet. Bookings start on Jan 3rd, and we expect deliveries to start by February. Pricing will be announced in due course, but if you have ideas on what it should be priced like, drop it in the comments below.